Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. My name is Muhammad Zulfajawari Nugraha. Today, I will be presenting the result and answering the question that were given. Let's get started. Number one, understanding euthanasia. Euthanasia is defined as the deliberate act of ending a person's life to alleviate emotion, pain, and suffering, often in case of terminal or incurable illness. This topic generated considerable debate, touching on ethical, legal, and religious dimension, with discussion focused on themes of personal autonomy, the sanctity of life, and medical ethics. Euthanasia can be categorized into two primary types: active euthanasia. This involves taking specific action to end a life, such as administering a lethal injection. Number two, passive euthanasia. This refers to the decision to withhold at all or withdraw life-sustaining treatment, allowing the individual to pass away naturally for instance by disconnecting a ventilator. Furthermore, euthanasia can also be classified based on consent. Number one, voluntary, when the patient consents to the procedure. Two, non-voluntary, when the patient is unable to provide consent, as in a coma. Number three, involuntary, when the procedure is carried out against the patient's will, which is typically deemed unethical and illegal. Next, number two, active euthanasia. Definition and Islamic perspective. Active euthanasia entails a direct medical intervention aimed at ending a person's life, such as through the administration of a lethal medication. The Islamic ruling on active euthanasia. In Islamic teachings, active euthanasia is unequivocally regarded as haram or forbidden. The reasoning includes: number one, sanctity of life. The Quran underscores the sacred nature of life, asserting that only Allah has power to give and take life. Two, prohibition of suicide and murder, because active euthanasia parallels suicide for the patients and murder for the physician, both of which are serious sins in Islam. It is prohibited. Number three, trust in divine will, Qadar. Muslims hold that suffering and death from form part of Allah's divine plan, and humans should not interfere with His process. Four, focus on palliative care. Islam emphasizes the importance of providing palliative care and effective pain relief without intentionally precipitating death. Scholarly consensus ijma, prominent Islamic institutions, including the Islamic Fiqh Council and Al-Azhar, have reached a unanimous agreement prohibiting active euthanasia. Next, number three, passive euthanasia. Definition and Islamic ruling. Passive euthanasia refers to scenarios where life-sustaining treatment, such as ventilators or artificial nutrition, are withheld or withdrawn, permitting the patient to die naturally. Islamic ruling on passive euthanasia. The Islamic stance on passive euthanasia is more nuanced and often situation dependent. Dependent. 1. Permissible under strict conditions. If the treatment is considered futile, meaning it merely prolongs suffering without any hope of recovery, scholars may permit in cessation of extraordinary measures, and this is not seen as actively causing death. 2. Prohibited if treatment is beneficial. If dedication to stop treatment directly leads to death, for example, withdrawing a ventilator from a patient who could recover, it is deemed impermissible. K. Condition permissible. 1. The patient must be in a terminal state with no hope of recovery, such as brain death. 2. The treatment in question should excessively burden the patient with no tangible benefit. 3. Dedication should involve medical professional and family consensus rather than resting solely with the patient's fatwas supporting passive euthanasia. In the, the Islamic Organization for Medical Sciences expressed support for withdrawing treatment in cases deemed hopeless. Sheikh Yusuf al-Qaradawi made a distinction between letting die, passive and sometimes permissible, and killing, active and always forbidden. Okay, number 4, last question. International human rights law and active euthanasia. International human rights law does not explicitly advocate for active euthanasia. However, discussion continue to revolve around its implication and ethical consideration. Like of life. The United Nations International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights safeguards the right to life, which stands in opposition to euthanasia, to right to dignity and autonomy. Proponents of euthanasia argue that it honors individual freedom of choice, as illustrated by various cases evaluated by the European Court of Human Rights concerning assisted suicide. Legal status. Legal in some countries such as Netherlands, Belgium, Canada, Spain, and specific states in the US, like Oregon under the Death with Dignity Act, permit voluntary active euthanasia and assisted suicide, prohibited they adhere to strict regulation. 3. Illegal in most the UN Human Rights Committee caution that the legalization of euthanasia could lead to potential abuse, especially affecting vulnerable populations such as the disabled and elderly. 4. WHO and medical ethics. the World Health Organization take a stand against euthanasia, advocating instead for palliative care that supports patients' quality of life without hastening death. Okay, thank you everyone. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.